I'm literally bursting at the seam to record this episode. I'm literally bursting at the seam to record this episode. Seriously. 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 Oh boy, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. It is AMXkids 9. AMXkids 9. AMX Niños 9. So we're going to dive into Jocko Willinck's kid book, Way of the Warrior Kid. From Wimpy to Warrior, the Navy SEAL way. And let me tell you folks, it's awesome. It is so awesome. So this is a kid's book. Put it this way. If maybe you don't, maybe you follow AMX. Maybe you don't follow AMX. Maybe you're like, oh man, reading's boring, man. Oh, I don't have time to read. Well, guess what? That's not true. You do, right? You just don't want to. You don't value it. Maybe you could say, I don't prioritize the value of reading, and thus I don't do it. And I would say, all right, loss on you, but at least you're being straight and honest. This book, my friends, I read a quarter of it yesterday in a very short time, and it was so freaking cool. It was so fun. I actually got this book signed by Jocko for my kids, and now I'm doing it on the show, and it is so cool. It's so relatable, so fun, and yeah, I hope that you appreciate it as much as I appreciate it. But anyhow, this is going to be another episode of AMXkids, and I highly encourage you, please, 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 share these episodes with your kids. Why am I doing it? You know, I've been tossing around, should I record these on YouTube? Should I do them on Facebook? But really, it's you that I'm after. It's you, the parent, that I'm after. Because you can encourage your kids to listen to it. You can put it on. My brother, this is one of the coolest things my brother did that I haven't done yet, but it's a great idea. Going for a run, like he takes his daughters with him when he goes for a run, pushing the bob, the little stroller, and he lets them listen to fun stuff. What if you let your kids do fun stuff and have them listen to these shows? It's encouraging lifelong learning, folks. There's nothing like it. There is nothing like it. It is something special, and I just hope you enjoy this and appreciate this. If you do have young people in your life, please consider sharing this, having them listen to it, telling your friends about it, telling your teacher friends about it. If you're a teacher, bring it to your classroom. Son of a gun, let's just do this. All right. All right. All right. All righty then. All righty. Are you ready to rock and roll? Because I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and roll. So again, this show is recorded for middle school age kids. So I'll be talking in a little bit different tone. The tone that I would use if I was talking on a stage at a middle school. Boy, my hair's getting pretty large. Large and in charge. So I'll be talking a little bit differently. So if you're thinking, why is he talking to me like I'm a kid? You condescending me, bro? No, I'm not. I'm just talking to you as if you are a kid. Because that's who this is recorded for. And that's what I'm sticking to. All right. Ewan's ready to rock and roll. Comment, feedback below. Like I said, shares, actual clicking share, but also telling the young people in your life about this, or hitting play when they have no place else to go. In the car, to school. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a great idea. What a great idea. When you go for a run, when you go ride a bike, When you're sitting at the dinner table, you can place me on your phone right at your dinner table too. That would be fun too. So anyhow, let's get this started. 1, 2, 3, go. Hello, mis amigos. I am so stinking excited. You can hear the smile. I know you can hear the smile in my voice. I am so stinking excited, young people, young lifelong learners, to bring you this episode, the next couple episodes, to introduce you, and if you've already read it, to add my 2 cents to the book, Way of the Warrior Kid, From Wimpy to Warrior, The Navy SEAL Way, written by mentor, acquaintance, soon to be friend, I think, / hope, someone who has influenced me greatly, someone whose work I read, I consume, I learn from. You know how we talk about good role models? You know, your parents might say to you, he or she's a good role model. You should be a good role model. If you have a brother and sister, you know, I have a daughter who's 5 and her brother is 2. And I always say to her, I say, Gracie, you know, you're a role model to Rocky. That means someone that you look up to, someone that does good things, acts in a nice, kind, giving, respectful, grateful way, and you model that person's behavior. Well, that's kind of how I feel about Jocko Willinck. You know, I look to him, I read his books, I listen to his podcasts, I go to his events, I consume what he has to say because I value and respect what he has to say. And truthfully, youngsters, AMXkids came from an idea I had based on seeing this book. I saw this book, I thought, wow, Jocko's doing this thing for kids. I love interacting with kids. I speak in schools. I should create something for kids. And then I thought, well, why not read middle school age books? And boom, all of a sudden, Way of the Warrior Kid is here on the show. So I encourage you all. I'm not going to tell you get on Amazon and order it yourself, because if it's not your money, don't go spending your mom and dad's money. But tap them, say, hey mom, hey dad, I'd love to read this book called Way of the Warrior Kid. My friend the Spaniard said it's really stinking good. He says this guy Jocko wrote it and that Jocko is really stinking cool. So what do you say, mom and dad? And then hopefully they'll say yeah. And if they say no, message me and then we'll talk about it. At Charlie Spaniard on social media. All right, let's dive into this. So AMXkids 9, Way of the Warrior Kid. I'm telling you, I was reading this book. So how many of you out there like exercise? I'm guessing some of you do, some of you don't. Some of you are like, oh yeah, bring it. I want some exercise. That's how I feel about it. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. I love it, but I hate it, right? I love it because I love it and it makes me feel good, but I hate it because it's so stinking hard. So that's kind of a theme in this book, is that doing hard stuff that makes you feel good. So our main character is Mark. He's 11 years old. Had a terrible 5th grade year. So I'm thinking back to 5th grade. I'm thinking back to middle school. This book, so Mark he wasn't good at sports. He didn't get good grades. He wasn't a very good swimmer. He was bullied. He didn't have confidence. So I'm thinking back to my middle school days, right? So you're in middle school. It's the summer. It's actually the end of summer. It's August 21st. Some of you have probably already started school up again. Some of you are going to start here in the next week or two. And I'm thinking back to middle school. What a tough, stinking time that was. You know, and I was a successful athlete and I got good grades, and it was still so stinking tough. This book, you know, it's learning about Mark and learning about him being bullied and not having any confidence. It brought me back. It is uncomfortable to think about, because I'm sure, like many of you listening, right, both parents and young people, we had to deal with some bullies. We had to deal with some less than nice people back in middle school, back in junior high school, even in the high school, heck, even in the real world. There's bullies in the real world that exist in the workplace. It's never fun. It can be a rough place. So what can you do? You know, the Way of the Warrior Kid, what I teach on my show, AM Excellence, what I teach in my life, what I teach to my own kids, it's not about fighting, okay? It's not about a fist fight. That word fight, you know, I'm a professional fighter. And the idea of fight is symbolic as much as it is actual meaning, right? A fist fight. This book, these lessons are not about fighting, a fist fight. This book, my message to you, is about preparation. It's about preparation. It's about doing the work. It's about preparing your mind and your body. It's about reading books and exercising, training, moving your body. That's what it's about. So confidence, the confidence that you're after, the confidence that I'm after, the confidence that we're all after, it comes from action. It doesn't just come from words. It comes from action. You need to do the thing to feel the way, you know? I became a professional fighter. I had to work myself there. I was not born a fighter, physically nor psychologically. My brain was not born like a fighter's brain. I was afraid of everything. I'm afraid of everything, kids. I swear to you, I'm afraid of everything. But you prepare. You work your mind by reading books. You work your body by training and exercising and moving. And that confidence you're after comes from that work. You actually work your way to confidence. So in the book, and I'll drip bits and pieces of it here and there, but I want you to read the book. That's part of the deal. You got to do the work, right? You got to prep your mind, prep your body, read the books, do the exercising. So Mark's uncle Jake stays with him for the summer, and he's a Navy SEAL. And in the book, he refers to a Navy SEAL and his uncle Jake as, quote, an official tough guy, the real deal. An official tough guy, the real deal. When I was in middle school, if you would have said, who's tough, right? I'm going to point to the kids that I thought were scary. The kids who swore, maybe the kids who chewed tobacco or drank alcohol, made the wrong choices. Those were the kids that were, quote, tough, right? And it wasn't until later in life that I learned that tough, actual tough, was not defined by that stuff. Wasn't defined by bad words. Wasn't defined by picking on other people. That's not what tough was. Tough is not puffy chest and scary. Tough is very simple. It's training and discipline. That's what tough means. I'm a tough person. I learned to fight. I learned to become a professional fighting through training and discipline. Wherever you are at, right? Whatever spot you're in life. If you're in middle school and you're fretting, you're nervous and you're scared to go to middle school, guess what? You can change it. And I'm going to show you how. Jocko shows you how through this book. But you can change it. I learned to be tough through training, through mixed martial arts. Look, when I say that I was afraid of everything, now don't tell people, don't tell anyone I'm telling you this, okay? When I say that I was afraid of everything, I literally am still to this day afraid of everything. But I just know that through training and discipline, I can overcome that fear to develop confidence. That's the deal here. Uncle Jake, a Navy SEAL, was an official tough guy, a real deal. And he tells us how, in this book, how he became the real deal. And the big picture there is it's through hard work, training, and discipline. That's how you do it. You train your mind through books. You train your body through training. But the coolest part, now I thought this was neat. And it's a quote from the book that is something I want to drive home. You know, because these episodes, my mission with AMXkids, there's two parts to that mission, right? So the coolest part about Uncle Jake in the book, it says, he is also cool and nice, right? So it's not like Uncle Jake's just a tough guy. Like, I'll beat you up. No, he's cool and he's nice. He's respectful. He has a positive attitude. He's grateful. He's polite. He probably holds the door for people. He probably says thank you and you're welcome, right? That's the type of person Uncle Jake is. And that's the type of person I aim to be. And I hope to inspire you to aim to be. So as I said before, these AMXkids, it's for two different types of people, right? And I'm talking to both of you right now. It's for the kids who are like Mark, right? So if you're sitting there, if you're like Mark, if you're not confident, if you're not good in sports, you don't have the confidence to speak. When you speak, maybe your voice cracks. Maybe you don't know what to say. Or maybe you're afraid to make friends. Maybe you don't have any friends. Maybe you don't like to look people in the eyes. It's for you. It's to show you that you can learn to do those things. But it's also, now listen here, because this is powerful. If you're this type of kid, tune in. This is also for the kids who aren't like Mark, right? These are for the kids who are good at sports, who are confident, who do have lots of friends, who aren't afraid to talk to people, who do look people in the eyes, who do give firm handshakes. And it's for you to look out for the kids like Mark. So it's for both of those groups of people. The kids like Mark, who aren't confident, lack that confidence, and then the kids who are not like Mark, the kids who are, yeah, right on, let's go, yeah, rock on. It's for you to look out for those other kids because they need you, and that's a responsibility. And that's something that my parents instilled in me at a young age, and that's something that I hope your parents are instilling in you, or at least is being instilled in you right here, right now. And as I said before, I listen to Jocko. I listen to the grown-up version of his books. I read the grown-up version of his books as well as the kid version. They're both awesome. And one of the things that Jocko always says, and it's in this book as well, in response to Mark's problems, so Uncle Jake's, he's teaching him, right? He's teaching him how to go from wimpy to warrior over a summer. And Mark's just like telling him all these problems that he has. And Uncle Jake says, good. And if you Google Jocko, you're going to find videos that Jocko says, good. So what does that mean? It's good, quote, and this is as per Uncle Jake, because every one of those problems is something you can change. Every one of the problems that you have is something you can change. And I would say the vast majority of them can be changed through training and hard work, through preparing your mind and preparing your body. I've said this before on AMX. I've said it on AMXkids. I say it everywhere I go. Learning will get you what you want. Learning will get you what you want. Is it easy? Nope. Identify what you want. Understand that learning will get you what you want. Learn it and earn it, my friends. So one of the last points I'm going to talk about, this book says Way of the Warrior Kid. So in with whomever you're with, maybe with your coaches, your parents, your teacher, you know, what do you think a warrior kid is? What does that mean, a warrior kid? What does it mean to be a good person, right? What is a good kid? What does a good kid do? They might tell the truth. They might help other people. They might study, get good grades, turn their assignments in on time, be kind to their moms, be kind to their dads, be kind to their little brothers and sisters, help out a neighbor, maybe mow the grass, do the chores. Essentially, that's what we're talking about here. Like I said before, it's not about fighting. It's not about being a part of, yes, part of being a warrior is fighting, but that's not the whole part, right? I'm a fighter, right? I'm a professional fighter. Is that the only thing I do? Heck no. That's like the least thing I do. I used to do that for like 15 minutes every 4 or 6 months. It's the stuff in between that truly makes the fighter, that truly makes the warrior. Some of the things they mention in the book. Pushing themselves is what warrior kids do. They stand up for themselves. They do their very best. They test themselves. One of my favorite things that I read in the book, one of my favorite things, how many of you, right? So it's August 21st right now. It's warm, right? If you're on the East Coast, I'm sweating right now. That's how warm it is. But when it gets cold, you know when it gets cold and like it's cold outside and you have to get up and you have to go to school, how many of you actually like getting out of bed? Your comfy, cozy bed, I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming, oh, I'm eating popcorn or watching my favorite movie, oh, I'm about to eat a slice of get up, get out of bed, it's freezing cold, get out of bed. None of us like that. It's not fun. But Uncle Jake says, this is one of my favorite things that I read so far in the book, quote, pushing yourself begins every day with pulling yourself out of bed. Pushing yourself every day begins with pulling yourself out of bed. There you have it, my friends. What's one thing you can do? What are some things you can do? Maybe do a couple push-ups. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe go for a run. Maybe get out of bed a little bit earlier tomorrow morning than you did today. Like I said, use use positive influences like I do, Jocko, like you're going to do from Mark or Uncle Jake or Jocko himself or me, whomever it is. Identify those people, those warriors, right? And do what they do. Because that's how you will become a warrior kid. You know, and in the book, it talks about creating a warrior code. And you'll find out more about it when you read the book. But I'm inspired. You know, I'm 37. And I'm reading this kid's book. And I'm thinking, wow, this book is speaking to me. So if you're a parent listening to this book, get it. Way of the Warrior Kid by Jocko Willinck. There's 2 books. There's another one called Mark's Mission. Get the books. Read them. Talks about creating a warrior code. Rules to live by, right? Your credo, your ethos. The Rock. You all know The Rock. The Rock has his code. He has his ethos. He talks a lot about it. That's what we're talking about here. Creating our warrior code, knowing who we are, knowing what we stand for, doing the right thing. I sincerely appreciate you all tuning in. This is one of my favorite times of the week, doing these AMXkids episodes. I know some of you are listening. I can see the downloads. I know some of you are listening, and I sincerely appreciate it. Whether you're a parent listening to it with your child, whether you're a parent listening to it by yourself, or whether you're a child listening to it by yourself, know that I sincerely appreciate it. And all I want to do is talk books. So please do not hesitate to reach out at Charlie Spaniard on social media. CharlieSpaniard.com is my webpage. Please reach out. I love talking books. And if you're a student or a teacher or a principal and you want to bring this love of lifelong learning, this conviction in the value of learning in a fun, entertaining way that encourages reading books and asking questions, visit CharlieSpaniard.com/booking. Let's talk. See ya. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Nate Shook, were you able to watch it with the Wi-Fi, buddy? AMXkids, 9 Way of the Warrior Kid 1. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next episode next Tuesday. These episodes come out on Tuesdays. Tuesday at 4 p.m. when they come out. I'll be uploading this and posting it. I encourage you to follow, subscribe to the show. Subscribe on iTunes. Search out Spaniard. Boom. Click subscribe. Everyone will be sent to your phone. That's it, folks. I love it. I absolutely love it, and hope you love it too. See you.